Hi friends, Juan the Yarn Addict here, bringing you yet another stitch tutorial. The stitch that you see before you today is called the rack stitch. This stitch here works up in multiples of 7 plus 2 plus 1. Okay? The reason for that is because I decided to include a base row here of single crochets just so that the rack stitch had something to work off of. It's super easy, super fast, it's lacy, which is nice, and it is a 3-row repeat, my friends, which includes columns of double crochets and then these 3 sets of stitches here. Again, I can't stress it enough how easy this is. The yarn that I used here is a medium 4-weight yarn. This is Mainstay's anti-pilling yarn in the colorway Mint. And the recommended hook size for this particular yarn that I used was 6.5 millimeters. Just use the recommended hook size for the yarn of your choice, okay? So without further ado, my friends, let's go ahead and jump right into this tutorial. Okay, friends, so I decided to go with 4-weight yarn here, but the hook recommended size for this was a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I'm going to go ahead and use a 6 millimeter crochet hook, otherwise known as US letter J. Okay, and so to start, what we're going to need to do is create a slip knot. So however you do this is absolutely fine, so long as the end result is this. Okay, and from here, you want to make sure that you're chaining multiples of 7. So for the purposes of this tutorial, my friends, I'm just going to go ahead and chain 21. And I will pause and meet you guys back here when I have my multiple of 7, okay? So just give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, friends, so I have 21 chains here, which is a multiple of 7. And then as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be plus 2 and then plus 1, okay? And so from here, what we need to do is a row of single crochets, okay? So starting from the second chain from the hook, you're going to go ahead and do a single crochet, and you're going to continue doing this all the way down your chain. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this off camera, and I will meet you at the end of this row here. Again, my friends, it is a row of single crochets. Okay. Okay, friends, so I just finished my row of single crochets for this row here. Okay, so this here, my friends, is not part of our 3-row repeat. So from here, what we need to do is chain 2, and the chain 2s, my friends, are not part of anything. It literally helps us get to the next row. So after we chain 2, we're going to turn our work, and we're going to work in these first 2 stitches here. So we're going to put double crochets in each one of those stitches. So the first stitch gets a double crochet, and then this second stitch gets a double crochet as well. Okay, so from here, what we need to do is skip 2 stitches, and then in this third one here, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, just like that. Then from here, we're going to chain 1. And we're going to go back into that same stitch here with 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So after that, my friends, we're going to skip these 2 stitches here, and in this third one here, we're going to do a double crochet and a double crochet in the next stitch as well. Okay. We're going to skip 2 stitches, and in the third one, we're going to do 3 double crochets, and that's the pattern repeat here for this row. So 3 double crochets in this stitch, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets in that same stitch again. Okay, we're going to skip 2 stitches, and then in this third one here, we're going to go ahead and do a double crochet and then a double crochet in the next stitch. We're going to skip 2 And in this third one here, we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to chain 1 and then go back into that stitch with 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we're going to skip 2, and then in these last 2 stitches here, we're going to do double crochets in each one. So double crochet here, and then in this last stitch, you may have to just turn it a little bit so you can see the V. See that V? That's going to get a double crochet. Okay, and so from here we're going to chain 2. It does not count as anything. We're going to turn our work, and now we're going to start row 2 of our 3-row repeat. Okay, so this is what we're looking like right now. We have 4 sets of pillars. I call these the pillars here because they're going to run up like columns. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 for me. I would imagine if you're making yours longer, you'll have more than this. And then we have 3 sets of these shell or fan situations happening here. Okay, so that's row 1. Now we're going to move on to row 2. So for row 2, we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 here and 1 here. So let's go back into this stitch we just came out of, do a double crochet, and then a double crochet next door here. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go into this stitch right here. So we're going to skip these 2 from the previous row. We're always going to skip the first 2. We're going to go into this third one and do a double crochet, chain 1. Then we're going to go into the chain space from the previous row here, and we're going to go in and do a double crochet, chain 1. We're going to go back into the chain space with a double crochet and chain 1. And then now we're going to go ahead and go into this first stitch from the previous row with a double crochet, and that is what we're looking for here. So literally 4 stitches, but chains in between each of those stitches. So double crochet, chain, double crochet, chain, double crochet, chain, double crochet. And these 2 in the middle here are coming out of the chain space, and the outside ones are coming in from the last stitches and the first stitches respectively. So from these shells, or these groupings of double crochets, the last and the first is where those stitches are coming out of. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to our double crochets here, so our pillar stitches here. So from this here, we're going to jump right down into this stitch right here and give that a double crochet. We're also going to go next door and do a double crochet there as well. Okay, and we're going to repeat what we just did over here. So from these 2 stitches, we're going to go right into this third stitch. So skip, skip, go into the third one with a double crochet, and then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to go into the chain space with a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Okay, so after that, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to go into this very first stitch here with a double crochet. And that's what that looks like. Okay, so after that, we're going to come down here to our pillars. We're going to do double crochets in each one of those. And then we're going to go ahead and do double crochet in this stitch right here. So skip, skip, and in the third one, we're going to chain 1. We're going to go into the chain space with a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. And then we're going to go into this first stitch here, this right here, with a double crochet. And that's what that looks like. Okay, so after that, we're going to go and do double crochets here. And I would imagine if your project is bigger than this, that you would continue going with this row. But this here, my friends, is 2 of the 3 rows of the repeat here. Super nice. Okay, so from here, as we did with the previous rows, we're going to chain 2, just like this, and we're going to turn our work. And so, like the previous rows, we're going to go ahead and do 2 double crochets in these 2 stitches here. So double crochet here, and a double crochet next door. Okay? And so for this 3rd row repeat here, we're going to go directly into this chain space. We're going to do 2 double crochets, and we're going to chain 3. And then we're going to go back into the chain space and do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, just like that. Okay? After we're done our stitches here, we're going to go back down to the pillar, which is right here, and you'll see them stacked on top of one another. You're going to go down into that very first stitch and do a double crochet, 1 and 2. Okay, so from a distance, let me pull that away. You're starting to see a pattern there. Okay, so in the beginning, 2 stitches, and at the end, 2 stitches every row. And then in between our clusters of stitches, we do pillars. Okay, so let's continue on with this 3rd row repeat situation. So after we do our pillar stitches there, we're going to go into the chain space here with 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to go back into that chain space with 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, just like that. We're going to do the 2 pillar stitches, double crochet there, and a double crochet there next door. Okay, so we're going to jump into our 3rd set of stitches here. We're going to go right into that chain space with 2 double crochets. We're going to chain 3 and go back into that chain space with 2 more double crochets, just like that. And then we're going to hop into these last 2 stitches here, do double crochets. So there you have it, my friends. That is the 3 row repeat. So just to recap, in case you want to take notes and write it down. So for the first row here, it's going to be 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. For row 2, it's going to be double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet. So it's 4 double crochets with chains in between. Okay? You're going to go into the last stitch of the cluster. You're going to go into the chain space and then go into the first stitch of the cluster. And then for the 3rd row repeat here, you're going to go into the chain space with 2 double crochets, chain 3, and 2 double crochets. Okay? So I'm going to work several more rows and I will meet you back in just a second. Hi friends, so I am back. I did several rows and so here we are. I just thought to myself that I would show you guys how to close off. So once you've achieved the length that you're looking for, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and make the top flat. So, well, the recommended way to make it flat. So once you've finished your rows and you decided you're not going any further, okay, what you want to do is you want to chain 2, turn your work, and do the double crochets in the first 2 stitches. So double crochet in the next one. Okay, from here what you want to do is you want to chain 2 and then go into your chain space with a single crochet, chain 2, and then go into your pillar stitches there with double crochets, and that's literally the repeat. to close off. So 2 double crochets, chain 2, go into your chain space here with a single crochet, chain 2, go into your pillar stitches here with 1 double crochet a piece, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, and then double crochets at the end of your row, however long that is. So once you lay that down, it's perfectly flat, just like that. Love it. Okay, so again, you can go as long as you'd like, as wide as you want, as long as you're using the stitch multiple of 7 plus 2 plus 1. And let's bring back the original swatch. As you can see, I myself plan to continue on. This is going to be for someone. And so, yeah, it's gorgeous. You can, I mean, again, you can make a throw with this. You can make a triangle scarf, whatever you want. It's super nice. Anyway, my friends, that wraps up this stitch tutorial. If you enjoyed what you saw, please go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and then of course hit that notification bell to stay updated with everything regarding me and my channel. So for now, my friends, that's all I have. Have a good one. Bye-bye.